Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, May 11th, 2022. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Market's taking a tumble here in the 7 o'clock Central Time hour as the hourly bars extended 900% of average range over the prior 10 hours. Huge decline on core CPI data here coming out prior to the RTH open, and we are now back toward the bottom of the recent 3-day range that has developed throughout the day. The ES continues to sit right on the yearly S3 band, also sitting right around that 4,000 level. Again, this market still reeling here and still having trouble finding a strong low, and again, until price can pop back above 4,100 here, we're still in expansion mode. Popping back above 4,100 would open up a bit of a move back into the range, but short of that, and you're still seeing expansion toward the next lowest key levels below. 36.52 half is the previous year's low, and that is still in play if the markets can't recover back above 40.60 here, which is the previous week's low, and especially above 4,100. So watching the edge of the 3-day range here to see how price responds at around 39.50. A failure there could open up even more downside ahead. Looking at the NQ, this one also having a very bad hour here on that core CPI data, and you can see here a 3-day range that has developed very clear edges. The 12,500 level is basically the previous week's low, and back above that level could open up a short-term rotation back up. At the moment, this price is still testing the previous year's low, is still in the area of the third standard deviation below value on a yearly plot basis. And again, we could be looking at further expansion to the downside. Much like the ES, this 13K level is the bottom of the range here, so price needs to get back above that level in order to get some short-term upside ahead. Short of that, and we're still in expansion mode to the downside, and a violation of the previous year's low price could open up a continuation down to the next major pivot below, and that's 11,067, which is the S25 for the year. So it's the 25% expansion of the prior year's range, 11,064, and that could still be ahead as well. So right now, again, we're still inside a narrow 3-day range, 12,100 up to about 12,500. We could continue to remain within this range, but failure to get above the top end of the range very soon could open up a continuation to the downside. So continue to watch the lower edge of the range at 12,100. Taking a look at crude oil, this one's up 3% today, trading 102.75 at present. We are seeing this thing continue to chop around within the larger range. Again, this market here still inside this larger range and continuing to see moves back and forth within the edges. Value right now is that lower area right here. This is the value level right there. That's about 96.40, and 96.40 again continues to be defended here on every pass when it's tested. So even if we were to get down below that level, you can see how quickly bulls are defending yearly VWAP as it continues to develop. So even if we were to push a little bit lower, it could be an opportunity to bounce it back up. Crude oil again trading between the 95 and 115 range with a sticky level right in the center at 105s. Taking a look at Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin down nearly 7%, again getting hit hard here alongside the broader market. This one is approaching the previous year's low. Again, it's hard not to see a prior year's low get tested at some point when we're this close to it, and that's around 28s. Again, we could be looking at a push into that level here today. Overall, this has been a tremendous area of support. Major support here over the last year plus. You can see from the beginning of 2021, staunch support in that area. Again, we could be looking at a flush through that area. If it were to bounce back up, it may flush through it first, find some sort of trap below 28 into as low as 25, and then we could be bouncing back up toward 45. a failure to reclaim the previous year's low could open up a continuation. This thing could theoretically drop all the way back to value on the futures chart here, which is right around that $10,000 level. Overall, we've maintained from the beginning of the year, if we had flushed down to about 25, that could provide a nice opportunity to fade it back up. But this late in the year and testing it at these levels right now with how the market has progressed, again, it's going to be interesting to see if the market reacts to that level, or do we continue to see a push through it and further expansion to the downside. So prices below the previous year's low as 25K could be at play. That would also be right near the yearly S3, and that could provide an opportunity to bounce it back, and if not, look out below. Taking a look at Ether futures, this one's down 7% right now. And again, approaching the current year's low. The current year's low right here, 2158s. Haven't quite gotten there yet. That's the bottom of the key range. We've noted before that if we were to get below the bottom of the key range into 2000, that could provide a trap opportunity and perhaps a rotation back to higher value. Again, right now, testing that edge. We've got to see how the market responds to that edge. A failure to hold there could open up a continuation down, where we see something along the lines of 1700 down below. So again, big time key range level right here. We'll see how the market responds to it soon. That's it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.